Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome you to another League of Legends video. This is going to be another commentary video that I have not done in quite some time, so I really want to talk about something very important, something I usually do not talk about nor even mention whatsoever on my channel, and of course, I'm talking about the support role. So in this game, you're going to be watching me play support in a ranked game, I believe in the Diamond ELO, I think around Diamond 4 or so when I played this one. And this was probably one of the first times I have played support in quite some time, and I gotta say, I was even impressed with myself and just how impactful supports can really be. Ever since Riot changed around how the support role works, with the items, with the masteries, and a lot of cool things like that, I feel like the support role has been showing a lot of love lately and been really impactful. And now it honestly feels like a true role, a role that will actually do a lot of work in the game, that can really make big plays, game-changing plays, and just overall have a huge impact on the game, rather than just being that person and that role that just happens to be there, just happens to use an ability or two in a fight, and then pretty much is non-existent from then on out. And the main topic I want to talk about with you guys in this video is that the support role is so impactful that I honestly believe that they have the potential to even be the carry in a game. Before I dive into that, I want to talk about the support role in general first. As a quick disclaimer, I'm obviously not the very best support, but from what I've been seeing and from what I've been noticing as well, the support role has two different types of support champions that usually will fit into the role. The first role that I see the supports can fill is being the tanky CC utility type champion. This role is usually filled by supports like Thresh and Leona, and this will be the role that I will primarily be focusing and talking about throughout this video, since obviously I'm playing Thresh. But the second type of champions that can be fit into the support role are simply AP support carries. The first two champions that pop into my mind that really fit this role well are champions like Annie and Karma. But I will probably talk about that role and those champions in a future video. So let's dive into talking about more of the champions that fit the tanky CC utility type role. So contrary to the other champions that usually build AP items, champions like Thresh, champions like Leona will usually build a lot of tanky items, which is why it's even very common to see them start with an item like Doran's Shield. And for the gold item, usually you'll see them get either Targon's or Talisman. Because Talisman is very good for the team, it brings a lot of utility, a lot of power to just engage with a champion like Leona or Thresh, champions that are really good at picking other champions off and just starting off a team fight. After this, it is common to see them build even more tank items such as Arandiums, or more tanky utility support items such as a Mikhail's or a Locket of Iron Solari. But these are usually the type of items you should see champions like this build, because you're just focused on trying to catch people off with Thresh Q, for instance, or with the Leona E, and follow up with the full combo, CCing someone down and letting your team follow up, which is why Talisman can be very useful, because you can pop it, have your team have the extra move speed, follow up on your engage, and then just completely destroy a team fight. But that is the whole purpose of this type of role of champions like Thresh and Leona. You just want to keep moving around, which is why sometimes I like even getting +5 boots, so I can be very mobile, so I can be really quick to catch someone off, and to of course give as little chance as possible for the enemy champion to be able to run away from me. So throughout this video, as I'm sure you have been seeing and you will also be seeing later, I just simply constantly roam around and always look for a pickoff, always look to hook someone in, follow up for my team, and just simply get the free kill. But right there you saw a pretty good example of just the utility that Thresh brings. That Lantern is extremely good at saving an ally, or if you ever engage with a Q, follow up with a Q, dash to the target, and then throw your Lantern behind you. Your ally can simply take the Lantern, join you, and follow up very easily. And believe it or not, small pickoffs like this are huge. They can be extremely game changing, especially if you land a pickoff on someone like the ADC or the mid. Another item that you see that also complements these type of champions very well is the Sightstone, because not only does it give you more vision, which is always very good, but it also gives you extra tankiness. So here's another example. Like I said, I like to be mobile. I don't have the +5 boost just yet, but right now I obviously do. But when I went to the mid lane, I roamed middle, got the pickoff on Yasuo, because again, Thresh and Leona, very good for the simple pickoffs. And I just pretty much gave my mid laner a free kill. Since you're so annoying and the whole purpose of you is just being a complete nuisance to the enemy team sometimes will actually try and focus you, because again, a lot of the times the enemy team will simply have to attack what is in front of them, especially when you talk about the ADC or the AP mid. Those roles and the champions that usually fit those roles aren't always able to just simply go to the back line and dive the squishies, because that's usually what the jungler and the top laner do. So a lot of the times in team fights, they will be focusing you as a support, as the Leona or as the Thresh, which is why building very tanky is very useful, because not only are you annoying, not only are you just constantly CCing them down and just being a complete nuisance, but to back it up, you also have a lot of tankiness, so they can't even kill you that fast. To me right now, League of Legends is all about which backline can demolish the front line first. So for example, if my ADC and my AP middle can destroy their top laner and their jungler that are diving at them first before I get destroyed, for instance, as the top laner while diving the enemy ADC and AP mid, then chances are we will win the fight. Which is why Leona and Thresh are just such highly contested support champions, because they're so good at just disrupting and being alive. So in these team fights with Thresh, you usually see me trying to go for the backline. I'm usually going for Yasuo, Jinx, maybe even Katarina. I'm flaying them, I'm hooking them, I'm doing everything I can to slow their progress, to not let them have the opportunity to simply just go to my back line. And look at this, another example. You just hide in simple areas and look for the pickoffs, look for the Q. I landed a Q in Yasuo, sure, maybe it didn't do that much, but it still gave some free damage. And when you're playing someone like Thresh or Blitz, that's really all you're trying to do, or even Leona. So overall, this wasn't the best teamfight as they obviously engaged pretty wisely because our Caitlyn wasn't there, but we still did somewhat decently. But check out this example. This is why Talisman is so good. I pop it, I'm so fast, especially with my +5 boots, the Jinx has no chance to escape from me. She has literally nothing she can do, especially since her flash is on cooldown. So what you usually want to do in those situations with Thresh is you walk up to them, play them backwards, so towards your team or away from their tower. The slow will go onto them, and that almost guarantees a simple hook onto the champion, which you then follow up with an ultimate, and they're locked down for so long they just simply can't escape and they're stuck in that area. And of course, because of this, it gives so much time and so much opportunity for your team to just dive in, especially considering that you can just throw the lantern backwards and have someone dive in there with you. In lane supports are extremely important because they're pretty much what determines if you win the lane or not. The ADC is more or less the support in the lane, because the ADC doesn't do a whole lot in the lane. Their damage is not very high. They rarely have a lot of CC because usually the support is the one bringing a lot of the CC, a lot of the engaged power. The support is the one that bullies the enemy laners while letting his ADC almost free farm. And support is the one that has to look for the engages and for the pickoffs in the lane as well. So honestly, the support is pretty much the carry in the lane, while the ADC is the support that follows up on the engages that the support player finds and does. So that is it for this video, guys. Please throw in a like if you did enjoy. Definitely try out the support lane. I think they're super strong, definitely have a lot of power to carry, and is honestly a force to be reckoned with. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Peace.